just a bit outside.
And welcome to another episode of Just a Bit Outside. I'm your host, Steve Ely, and along as rusty, bro.
Man, it's been a little bit. It's okay.
Been a minute, sir. But anyway, I'm here with, like always, with my co-host, Wes Cook.
Go Birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, bragging rights, baby.
Yeah, just for a minute.
You owe me $10.
I do. $10 in my pocket,
I never bet like that, but I did that time. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I was pissed off at work when you texted. I'm like, you know what? I don't care. Fucking wing it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Worst case, I'm out $10.
Yeah.
Birds win. And, it was, honestly, it was a good game until the end, of course. You hate seeing injuries like that.
Yeah.
Especially at the beginning of the season. And so much promise for Jordan Love, really. So hopefully he comes back in the shorter window, which is 3 weeks, I think?
I think so.
That would be great. Yeah.
I think so. Good. I didn't like a lot of the field stuff. You and I were texting about it.
It was awful.
I thought the field conditions were terrible.
And the thing is like as much as fields have been complained about in the past, why hasn't the NFL done anything to address it? They knew coming in that this field was going to be trash, right? I mean, and you could have done something to address it. It's not like you're short of any kind of funds to address something like that, to be able to fix it, bring in a different field, whatever may be the case. You have the funds to make sure that these guys are your moneymakers. This is what makes the NFL what it is. So you're going to put them in harm's way?
Well, J.J. Watt kind of had a good perspective on it, and after thinking about it and seeing what he had to say, I kind of got what he was saying about it. He was saying essentially soccer fields aren't you're supposed to be able to move on them and stuff, but they're not used to the power and the force that the NFL guys are going to put on it. As far as cutting back hard and this and that.
Right.
And I kind of got that. That kind of made me look at it. And JJ's thought was, it happens at every soccer field we play at.
I mean, that's a good point. But that's another thing, though. Is like you're aware of it, right?
Yeah.
They knew what was coming. So why not prepare for it? Especially because you want to take a week one game that's, miles and miles away. I mean, 2,000, 3,000 miles away?
Yeah.
And you're going to fly two teams out there week one. And you're not going to, You're not going to address it?
Well,
you know what you're getting into.
Even with the poor field conditions, the game didn't disappoint.
No, it didn't disappoint. It was good back and forth, very competitive. You see what both of these you can see what both of these teams are going to be capable of on offense.
Oh, yeah.
Defensively, a lot to square away for both teams.
Absolutely.
You saw a lot of open wide receivers, a lot of miscommunication and things like that. So a lot that needs to change defensively for both teams to be successful going forward.
Well, some of the wide receivers being open, that was also field conditions. You're seeing corners
you saw guys slip, no pressure on the quarterback.
Yep.
It's very difficult to do that. And, that's part of the game. I get that because both teams are playing on the same field, so it's the same disadvantage, right?
Same disadvantage.
Yeah. So,
because you saw it happening both ways.
I think, but the second half did get better.
Yeah.
The second half got better because they got the right equipment, especially cleats. The right spikes in, things like that. So it cleaned up a little bit, but it was still kind of sloppy. And it is week one. However, I expect going forward that both teams got to shore up some of those issues because there's just too much talent on both sides. I mean, defensively for both teams. So
yeah, well, yeah, it's week one. None of these starters played. You know what I'm saying? or if they did play, they played very limited snaps in preseason. So, I expect rust the first couple of weeks for every team.
Yeah.
For every team.
It just sucks because I know you want the highlight matchups to start. You're talking about 2 playoff teams from last year starting, and you're playing in Brazil. And you play in Brazil, and you're playing in a stadium that they don't allow green. The reason is not for gang activity. I've come to find out that the opposing or the rival for the team that plays there
wears green.
So that's why they didn't want to wear green.
Yeah, well, that's.
However, Green Bay wore green.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I guess their color green didn't match the rivals' green as much. I don't know.
It's just I don't know. It's just all weird little thing.
I hate the fact that it's a home game for the Birds. Like we lose a home game.
Yeah.
It's aggravating.
Yeah, but you got to win.
I mean, yeah,
in a non-home game,
it's a neutral site game.
Yeah.
Like, we got the win, sure, but you look at it as a road game. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, playing the Eagles in Philly would be one thing. Yeah, you get a little bit more of advantage playing at a neutral site with what seemed like to be a very heavily favored crowd for Green Bay, in my opinion. And Philly fans travel super well.
Yeah.
So I heard a lot of go pack go and shit going on. I mean, the Packers fans were definitely felt there. More props to them.
I was really and truthfully, I was surprised by the Pack support at the game. It just seemed a little, I don't know. I don't want to say out of place, but it wasn't what I was expecting. But overall, the game was good. Congrats to the Birds on a hard-fought win.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they didn't try to go for it at the end and kick the field goal. I needed that one bad.
Yeah.
Oh, man. There's nothing worse than watching that. Like, I thought they were going to kick it the first time, and then it's like, no, we're going to go for it on 4th and 3. What?
I get it.
But, that's the gambler in me, trying to find a reason to be mad about something.
Of course. I mean, we're always mad. I'm pissed off I even bet. I know better than the bet week 1, and I'm fucking wasting money. DraftKings, you're welcome.
I'm not, wasting money at the minute. The only game that's really got me nervous is the New England game. That's got me bad.
I put together 3 different parlays. I got some, anytime touchdown score parlays together, and it's not looking too hot.
I went against the grain. The thing I heard this morning was that the Dogs cover 60% of the time in week 1, which is insane.
Impressive.
Just insane.
I mean, because really, what kind of tape do you have on a lot of these teams, especially the ones with new coaches, new staff, new players? Everything changes. So, as a big surprise, you see New England led 10-0 at the half against the Bengals. The Bengals who have a stout-ass offense and not even really a bad defense. And New England's doing this? Because we're talking shit about how New England's going to be awful this year.
I still think they're going to be awful. I think their defense is going to keep them in a lot of games.
Well, that's what New England's been known for, too, in a lot of cases, since Tom Brady.
Well, it gets back to, the whole Drake May thing. Like I said from jump, he doesn't need to start.
Well, it's a good thing he's not. He doesn't need to.
He'd be getting killed right now.
Right, you don't need that. Yeah, let him learn behind somebody.
Doesn't need the Bryce Young treatment.
The Bryce Young now. Talk about a guy having a day. He's seen a lot of the black and gold in his face all day.
Oh, Lord.
What is it, 30-0 at half?
Yeah.
Saints over the Panthers?
Yes, sir.
So, I got all the scores down here, I think. Probably covering up a lot of shit with my browsing history on there. That's a bad idea, right?
Yeah, probably. Probably.
No, it's not my browsing history. We all right. I know incognito mode. Come on, let's be real. You're not going to see that shit.
The Philly Green Bay game was not the first game of the week. First game of the week was
Kansas City and Baltimore.
Yeah.
That was thrilling as well, for sure.
Yeah, very well.
Yeah.
A toe tap away from overtime. A lot of people are saying the refs gave Kansas City the game again, which there were some questionable calls. I thought it was weird that they were all over what is the is it illegal formation?
Oh yeah, they were all. That was a lot. You saw that in the Philly and Packers game too.
Well, they called the same guy. What is Staley?
Yeah, I think like 3 or 4 different times.
And like
that wasn't cool at all.
You would think at that point, hey, let me take a step forward. Because your head's just got to be by the belt line. That's it. That's all that's required.
They were way too close to call. It was definitely a Kansas City sided officiating crew.
Well, they missed the false start against KC in the second half. That was like ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's what happened when you're the league's favorite team.
I mean, he's all with New England for years, and now just Kansas City seems to be that one.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're playing to the whole Taylor Swift shit too now. It's just getting kind of old, right? I used to not even really care so much about Kansas City. Now you see them continuously win and be successful and sustain that success. That does get on your skin a little bit. But now the whole let's appease all the women,
masses.
Yeah, all the women that don't care about football at all. But now we brought them in just to see this. And, that's cool and all. I get it. Like, you make your money, do your thing, NFL. But sometimes it's just, as a lifelong football fan, as yourself, us, it's just draining at this point.
Yeah, that's something. I was glad they didn't just, plaster all over the screen. Like, she popped up a couple of times. It wasn't that bad.
No, it's not bad. It's just the talk stuff. And then there's the whole thing, she's created plays for Andy Reid and shit. And I'm like,
I don't believe that.
Like, come on. There's no way this is true. Like, Andy Reid is way too smart to just say, yeah, Taylor, let's see what you can put on paper and let's run it.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
There's
I'm not
no
buying
way,
it.
right? No way.
Not buying it.
Yeah, I'm not buying it either.
But no, that game was good.
No, it was a good game. It came down to the end, really. I mean, they just,
one toe tap away.
Hey, it's a toenail out of bounds. It is crazy, dude. Maybe if he wore just a half size smaller shoe.
You see the picture of it, and you just see that, a quarter of an inch.
I mean, you can see it though. It
was there. It's clear,
but it sucks. It's like, back in the day, just any time in the 90s, if they had replay review, right?
That'd have been a touchdown.
That would have been a touchdown.
That'd have been a touchdown all day.
That camera's not going to be that crisp.
Nope.
It's good. It's good. You're gonna be like, well, I can't say it is out of bounds, but I can't say it's not. But we're gonna go ahead and give it to them.
Yeah, they would have.
There could have been a second where it was just blurred there, and it looked like there was green sitting there. And you're like, there we go.
But no, they did.
Damn technology ruined football games for the Ravens.
Not technology. Kansas City's defense played fantastic.
I mean, both defenses looked okay. For week one,
yeah,
I'm impressed with both defenses. I think they'll both be successful going forward. Something Kansas City may need.
How do you feel about? How do you think Buffalo feels about trading Kansas City so they can take
Xavier Worthy?
Yeah.
Well, they also made the trade that allowed them to get Patrick Mahomes. So
yeah, Buffalo just gives it up to them all the time, huh?
And now that's like their arch rival.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the hump they can't clear, and they just contributed to it. Xavier Worthy looked great. Let's see. You got one sample game here.
Oh yeah, it's early.
You gotta prove it. I mean, we've seen countless wide receivers come and have a big ass game right out the gate, and then you don't hear about them ever again. I
don't know. Like this wide receiver class, this one in particular,
it's good.
There's some talent there.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. We got to see. We got to see. I was curious to see how Leggett was going to play for Carolina, but
it's unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
I just want to hear that dude talk. Like, his press conferences are the best.
I mean, it's not like Bryce Young's going to give him the football.
Not at this rate.
I mean, we've seen him. He got sacked by his own player earlier.
He did get sacked by his own player. That was funny.
Yeah. So, I mean,
that made me giggle.
I mean, the Panthers are the Panthers of last year.
Did they score again?
No, I think this should still happen.
Oh, is that still highlights?
Yeah,
okay.
Most of these games are in halftime. I think only one going are Cardinals and Bills, which, speaking of Cardinals and Bills, that's shocking. Cardinals up 17-10 in the third quarter. Dude, I did not expect it. Did not expect this.
I didn't expect it like this, but I did take the Birds plus, the Cardinals plus 6.5. My bad. The other Tweety Bird team.
What are you talking about? The Falcons and Cardinals, or what?
Yeah, talking about them all. Seahawks too.
And we can just go with the teenage boy joke on your team and call you the Fudge Packers.
Yeah. It's all right. Mm-hmm. It's all right, man. I catch that a lot, Could always be worse. Could be a Cowboy fan, though, so.
Yeah, then it's just being called gay.
Exactly. Oh. Man, been a while since we've done this. Sober anyway.
Well, speaking of, yeah, I mean, before we get into more football, but this, the last episode was kind of dicey.
Very dicey. Dicey enough that I heard that it was dicey and I said,
We discussed it and whether to post it or not. And then we were like, let's post it. They know what we talk about. We're off the cuff, especially when we're intoxicated. So why not?
God.
It's not that big a deal. They're all jokes.
Plus, we had a whole gang full of guys, so
yeah,
it's good.
It was fun. Now, a lot of it probably got a little annoying for the listeners. I got a little annoyed, a little embarrassed sometimes in it, but I mean, that was post-draft, like
that was 3/4 of a half gallon of Fireball.
Oh God, that thing!
I don't know whose idea that was, but that was horrible.
You brought it out, didn't you?
No.
Was it me?
No, I don't know who brought it out. Somebody brought it out
because it was in my pantry. I had it tucked away, so whoever found it and brought it out, that was an awful idea.
It was not me.
It might have been me.
I was cool with just sticking with beer.
Well, you were the one that came up with the idea of like, let's run this podcast, and I'm like, dude.
Let's run it. It was fine until like the shots hit, and then the shots hit, and it was like, yeah, this probably.
Did you listen to it? You listened to it. You're the one calling for it. Every time you're like, Joel, shots.
Ah, well, yeah. Once I get a couple in me, then I'm ready to roll. You know how I am.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean,
if it doesn't show up, I'm good. The sad part about it is, I think Joel switched beers on me at some point.
We switched beers. Someone brought a stout in.
No, I don't do stouts.
You didn't drink any of that stout?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I remember Joel did bring stouts in.
No.
There was a stout in. I remember drinking that. I was like, damn, that's rough.
Well, I was on the IPA
but
early, and then something happened, and then I ended up on the, what'd you say, that 7% porter?
Oh, so our food is here.
It is here.
Yeah, I'm going to grab that here in a second. But no, yeah, we had, I mean, everything was being poured there.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was a good day.
I think Humpty's waiting on me to go get it.
Hey, it might be. Just want to pause this thing, take a break for a minute?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we need to finish this thing up. We got time.
All right.
Yeah, it'd be fine. Hold on, let me grab this.
All right, well, you grab it. I'll sit here and still complain. But, yeah, it was a fun evening. Fantasy draft was good. I think my team is very underrated per Yahoo.
Oh, yeah, you got a bag.
Say what?
Yeah, you talking about your draft grade?
Oh, yeah, dude. It was a big old F.
You got an F. I
know.
was like, damn.
I know.
I was like, dude, you didn't draft that bad.
I didn't think it was that bad.
I didn't either. I was shocked. I was like, dude, no way.
I had a D last year and finished like 7th.
Hey, as long as it's not last, that's it. I do not want to finish dead last because now it's a sweaty Hooters outfit that's got to be worn.
Grass.
That's going to be awful. And I mean, it's a year of sweatiness that's just hanging in there. And that means like all of Joel's ball cheese is in it too. It's nasty.
Yeah. Ugh. Grass.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that big old F. I looked the next day. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I didn't think it was terrible.
But that's the thing, though. Because we drafted with Clicky Draft. That way we have the big board up on the TV and everything.
Yep.
So their draft ratings are different than Yahoo's. And then Yahoo's draft ratings are different
than ESPN.
Yeah. And if you don't go in and modify yours to your liking, then that's going to be an issue because you don't know. Because like I even noticed that when I went from different like draft ratings and things, and I was joined this ESPN league at the very last minute, really. Yeah, because we were talking about doing a pod again.
Yeah, we were talking about doing a pod and actually doing
and my buddy called me. He's like, dude, I got somebody that bailed. I haven't heard from him in a week. Our draft is tomorrow night. You want to join? I was like, all right, dude, I'll take it. I hate being in more than one league just because now it's the conversations we've been having all day, right?
Yep.
We've been talking about, oh, shit, that's not my team. Or that's the other team.
Yep.
Oh, crap, I thought I was good on this league. It's in the other league.
That is me the whole time.
One league's PPR, the other league's not. And it's like just too much going on. I can't keep track of two teams.
Look at that Buffalo score now.
Oh, they tied it up?
Nice.
All right. Nice. Oh, the Panthers have 3 on the board.
Look at that.
They have an offense. New England's got 3 more on the board. They're up 13-0 against the Bengals. If you're the Bengals right now, you got to be feeling like shit, right? I'd be furious. I'd be furious if New England was beating me.
I get it to be furious, but at the same time, you're looking at
home.
You're looking at Russ.
At home.
You're looking at Russ, bro. You're looking at meaningful downs played by Joe Burrow in the first time in how long?
Almost a year.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Run the football more. Change your scheme up to where you ease them into it. Shorter passes. It's not like the guy hasn't played quarterback his entire life.
Well, not having Higgins on the field hurts.
That changes things, sure. But they're still, on paper, without Higgins, a much better football team than the Patriots are.
Yeah.
But when you put the product on the field, it looks like trash right now. You've been shut out through a quarter and a half, 2 quarters and a half, 2.5 quarters. Bryce Young get picked again?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. The Panthers are atrocious.
Trying to force a throw instead of just tossing it out of bounds.
I feel bad for all Panthers fans. Dude, that's going to be brutal all year.
It's going to be bad.
The Saints are...
That plus money under 5.5 is awesome, though.
Yeah.
Because after watching this,
yeah, they're gonna have double-digit spreads against most teams probably. Because the Saints, really mediocre team, middle of the pack in the
but who they beating in their division? They ain't beating nobody in that division.
Who, the Panthers?
Yeah.
Oh no, they're gonna get swept. I mean, they're lucky they still have a first-round pick this year.
3 games.
They're going to turn up and win 1 or 2 games because that just is what's going to happen. That's how it does.
I mean, the odds of finishing 0-17 or...
Yeah, only 2 teams have ever gone 0 for the whole year?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Matt Stafford was the quarterback for one of those teams. But, man. But, yeah. It is opening Sunday. How about let's slide away from pro football for a second. Let's talk about some games that happened yesterday.
Oh, you want to jump into college? All right.
Yeah. Let's talk about like our favorite game of the day yesterday. Or at least it was one of my favorite games of the yesterday. Was the
Notre Dame game?
The Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois. Made me pretty happy, bro.
I mean, I love watching Notre Dame take an L, especially to a much lesser program.
At home?
Yeah, at home, and one you paid damn near $2 million to come and lose to. That's awesome.
I think it was $1.4 million
Okay.
to come to our house and beat us. Fantastic.
Gold Domers are in hell right now.
Well, dude, they looked great last week against A&M. Even though A&M is still an unproven commodity.
You don't know what A&M is.
That's my saying.
Yeah.
I know what A&M looks like now. Considering what Northern Illinois just did.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, I mean, it was a close game. Don't get me wrong. Both games were close. The A&M game and Northern Illinois. Is Northern Illinois just this? Maybe they're good. That's what sucks about early season football. You don't really have a good
you don't really
judge of a team. You can't really judge a team, but you don't have a good grade or an idea of a team. Except I do have a good idea of one football team, and that's Kentucky. They fucking suck.
Was it bad? I did not see one drop of it. I didn't look at any of it. I didn't see any of the highlights. Was it?
It was bad. It was bad. They threw the ball less than 15 times.
What? For
only 6 completions in the whole game. They ran the ball 40-something times. I mean, super predictable offense.
That's Mark Stoops.
And the defense, was gassed. They were on the field too much. It was 10 to 6.5, I think. It was like, okay, all right, it's going to be a defensive battle. And then the floodgates opened. There was a 4th and 1 right around half field they were going for. And we jumped off sides, gave it to them. 2 plays later, a fucking touchdown. It's just I don't have words for it. Really, that's where I'm stuck. It was abysmal. It's awful. And South Carolina's a bottom tier team in the SEC, and they got Georgia next week. Good luck.
We'll see how that goes.
That's going to be awful. It's going to be awful. Georgia's going to smash.
Man, they're bad. Georgia's pretty good. Clemson looked a lot better yesterday than I expected.
Clemson?
Yeah, they looked a lot better. Penn State doesn't look as good as they're projected. Granted, they won.
With Bowling Green was
that was a 28.5 point dog at your house.
Yeah. Another one of those teams you probably paid a buttload of money to come play.
Yeah.
To be a tune-up for something.
Yeah.
A confidence builder.
Well, that's not the confidence you need.
No, that's negative.
That's not the
confidence. It's going in the opposite direction right there, buddy.
If your confidence you need is, hey, we can win a close game against a subpar team, then...
Kentucky needs those. Carolina ended up winning yesterday?
Carolina did win.
They smashed Charlotte, right?
Yep, they played Charlotte. They won. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Final score ended up being 38-17, something like 38-20, somewhere along that line. So I'm cool with that. I don't really expect a whole lot from the Heels this year. Bowl game is about all I expect. But as the way the rest of the
turnover you had, that's in turnover of the roster, not
the way the rest of the ACC is looking, who knows? God, because fucking State got thumped by Tennessee.
Tennessee beat the hell out of them.
Ooh.
Yeah, I watched that last night. I was like, it got to about halftime. I was like, ooh, this is not good State.
No.
It's not. They hyped up this game. This was the game they needed to win, though, to have
the ACC
shot.
needed that win.
Yeah, they needed that one too because you got number 14 Tennessee, I think.
Yep.
It just would prove the strength of the conference for the ACC, and they did the complete opposite. They still have a shot to make the playoff because losing to a good Tennessee team's not bad.
Yeah, if that's their one loss.
But now you got to come out and you can't take the L's that you normally take. NC State drops to a fucking shitty every year that you don't expect to.
Wake Forest.
Yeah, it could be. It wouldn't surprise me if it's that game or if they play just any bottom tier like Boston College or whatever. And they take
how bottom tier is Boston College? They just beat Florida State.
Yeah, well, Florida State is probably bottom tier.
No, Florida State is DJU bottom tier. He's the problem.
Did you sub him out? You put in the next guy?
At this point, yes. Yes. You pay. The sad part is you paid that dude $1 million to come be your quarterback.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, and oh my God. The sad part is you didn't see enough of that dude when he was at Clemson.
Well, you saw him at Clemson.
And he wasn't good there either.
It was only 1 year.
Wasn't good. He was okay at Oregon State.
He wasn't great. I just figured he would stay at Oregon State. Why transfer again? Because you're not in a conference, I guess?
Money.
Well, it's not like Oregon. I mean, he could have been the highest paid player at Oregon State. I mean, did Florida State just come off that much higher?
I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know. All I know is he has looked like trash. Like straight up dumpster fire. And I know Florida State has more talent than that. Like I know.
Defensively, they should. Right.
Yeah.
Defensively, they should be able to win ball games. Just the defensive line.
Well, here's the thing.
But then again, I mean, when you're turning the ball over and making mistakes that, set up the opposing offenses with short fields, that comes into it.
When your defense is, or on the field 75% of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't hold on that long. You just can't. At some point, you're going to be tired. You're going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. All good. It doesn't matter how good your defense is. That's the whole point of the defense being good is to get off the field.
Well, yeah.
But when it's 3 and out by your offense, every other possession,
yeah,
it's not good. Let's see. Bama looked solid yesterday in their win.
It didn't early.
It didn't early.
Early, it was like, what's going on here? I don't understand what's happening. And then it improved.
Yeah, it improved.
Especially that fourth quarter, they opened it wide up. It was like, all right, let's quit toying around and, finish this one out.
You know who looked legit yesterday? Texas.
Oh, Texas beat the hell out of Michigan. The score doesn't even tell you the story of how bad that game was.
They smashed them.
Yeah.
On all fronts.
Absolutely ruined them.
That was pretty much the game. I had my kid yesterday, so I was in and out of it, like checking a lot of stuff. But that game I watched.
I only heard it on the radio. I was working, so.
And
I'm not supposed to work Saturdays, by the way.
Hey, I get it. I'm not supposed to work on Fridays, but I was working in Raleigh on Friday, so.
Man, that's all by choice on you sometimes. I don't have a choice right now.
No, you don't. But, who else? What else was the games that I was interested in yesterday? Let me pull up my schedule. Oh, no, don't do that. There we go.
Georgia won handily. They were actually 55-point dogs, or not dogs. What am I talking about? 55-point favorites, and they didn't cover. I thought they were going to cover.
I thought they were going to completely cover.
Yeah.
I think that was one of my picks yesterday.
Oh, it was? They didn't cover?
They didn't cover. I'm like, God damn it. The one time I don't take the 55-point dog is the one time it doesn't cover.
Yep.
Like Penn State looked bad. They looked okay. They didn't look great. Oklahoma State, that looked a little sketchy, but they managed to pull it out. Kansas State looked sketchy against Tulane. So, I don't know, man. This college season might be just insane.
Yeah.
Iowa losing yesterday to Iowa State.
That one was surprising because I thought it was almost a lock. They were only a 3-point favorite. I think I took them yesterday and lost. Yeah. Because it was 3.5 point favorite. And I was like, I was going to cover just because defensively they will. But because what? They scored 30 points the week before. I'm like, I might be able to score points now.
No,
maybe I should have dug into that game to see if the defense had 2 touchdowns or something.
They can't score points. The only game that
Buffalo's driving again.
That really didn't shock me with the way it was handled. Ole Miss did exactly what they're supposed to do. They won 52-3 yesterday against Middle Tennessee.
Yeah,
I mean, they smashed.
Ole Miss looks good.
I think they're a legit contender in the SEC. I mean, I picked them, so of course, I think they're legit.
I mean, we like Lane Kiffin anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah. I still think that's who Florida State should have hired before they hired Norvell.
I think he's better off in Ole Miss. He's competitive in the SEC. I'd much rather be competitive in the SEC.
Dude, he's the only coach in Ole Miss history to have back-to-back 10-win seasons.
Yep.
The only one. I read something yesterday that there is speculation that he would take the Florida job if it was offered. And I'm like, why?
Nah.
I would stay right where I'm at.
I mean, living in Mississippi would suck. I get that. But, I mean, Gainesville's not much better.
No, Gainesville not much better.
I really
imagine
thought the Alabama job would have been his. But I think he turned so many of them off down there that it just wasn't an option. But just think about the product he'd be able to put on the field at Bama.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think Bama wanted to go away from
the Saban tree.
The Saban tree, kind of.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of felt.
Yeah, it's not all.
I mean, because look at the guys they talked about. And you're just like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like Lanning was part of the Saban tree at one point in time. You know, I know Lane was kicked for a second, and that didn't go. Who else was talked about for a minute? I know
Sarkisian.
Sarkisian's not going anywhere.
No, he's good at Texas. He's solid.
Yeah. He's not going anywhere. I think Texas might be the best team in the SEC.
They look good, man. I mean, they're tested. They look good. I give them the credit.
We're going to find out.
They don't play Georgia this year, I don't think.
They will in that SEC championship game if it comes down to it.
Yeah. No, you're talking Georgia's stacked. I think Bama could turn it around still. But they're still I still think they're fourth, fifth place team in the SEC this year. LSU's okay. I mean, they dropped that one to USC, which didn't make sense because they were in total control of the game.
Brian Kelly.
It is Brian Kelly. That's what worries about me. LSU is because I don't trust Brian Kelly.
He always does something early that just screws stuff up, and then he ends up finishing strong like they did last year. But you can't screw up in the SEC. You can't. You lose that game you're not supposed to. You are done in the SEC. I don't know. I know DeBoer's been catching a lot of flack, and I don't even know how he catches flack, dude.
He shouldn't. It's his first year.
Give
him some time. I mean, he didn't even get a full year to recruit or anything. You know,
he went straight from national championship loss to being the head coach
Can
at
I
Alabama.
pull everybody I got at Washington down here with me?
Yeah.
And hitting transfer portal, taking assuming uncommitted recruits, everything. You got to do a lot of work real fast, and you can't expect a whole lot because you lost recruits to other places because they opened it up.
Well, the portal changed stuff. Like Alabama had a lot of guys leave via the portal.
Yeah.
And, it is what it is. But
I mean, that's what you come to expect in college football.
Yeah. That's going to be the game for the foreseeable future. Dabo's going to learn that hardcore if he doesn't start getting into it. Like, it's going to be bad for him. Like, a not good situation. I saw something. There's 4 teams that have not taken a player from the transfer portal at all. One of those teams is Clemson, which we all know hasn't. And I will give you an extra $5 on top of the 10 I owe you if you can tell me the other 3 schools without looking it up.
All right. I'm not gonna.
You don't get any hints. You just got to give me.
No, I'm not gonna take the bets because I already heard this. I know who it is. So it's Army, Navy, and
the military academies.
Military academies. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So
that makes 100% sense.
Right? No, it does. They're not
Please
transferred. No one's transferred.
Nobody's transferring
they're not
in.
offered NIL money either.
No.
Yeah. So
no.
But I did hear that, so I don't want to steal your money because I already knew the answer to that.
Well, I'm glad. Thanks for being honest about it. But
absolutely.
at the same time, I mean, that's where Dabo is hanging.
But I mean, Dabo's trying to prove the system wrong for some reason.
I don't know why.
He's gonna lose.
You know what it's gonna do? It's gonna cost him his job eventually.
Yeah, it will.
Eventually.
And then he'll be coaching at one of the military academies.
Here's the thing. I like Dabo. I think Dabo's done a fantastic job at Clemson.
Yeah.
But I think where he's at now
but
is
his philosophy on recruiting's awful now.
He's embedded into the old school. I mean, that's why Nick Saban left. That is 100%.
He wasn't embedded in it, though. He adapted. Why do you think they were successful even later on?
He was trying. He was trying, but it's got to the point, especially when the NIL got to where it's at now. It's
it's a ridiculous amount at this point. So I get it. That's why you saw Roy Williams leave. You know?
Yeah.
You saw a lot of these older. Jay Wright left. He didn't want to deal with the NIL. It's just we don't want to. These guys, especially the older guys, the guys that have been around for a while, they just don't want to have to deal with the new style. It's going to take who adapts best to it.
Kirby's done a fantastic job.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Dan Lanning is going to do a fantastic job. But, I mean, Nike pretty much came out and said,
unlimited funds, man.
Unlimited funds.
I get it. Because that man wants to see a national championship before he dies.
Yeah. And he's, 79 or 80?
Yeah.
He wants it.
He's going to push for 5 years. I think this is their year they can get it done. Recruiting, or roster-wise, on paper, what everything looks like, Oregon looks like a top-notch football team.
They do.
The problem with that is this is your first year adjusting to a new conference.
Mm-hmm.
And then and the thing is, they haven't even had to do the travel part yet.
No, they haven't.
They struggled with Boise State yesterday.
Well,
but it is early in the season, so things can adjust themselves. They can get better. I mean, you saw 3 years ago, when USC caught fire real late. They were probably one of the best teams in football, but they didn't get in the playoff because there was only 4 teams and they struggled early on.
Yep.
So those types of things can change over the course of the year. LSU last year, you were high on them. They weren't great until towards the end of the year. They were
fantastic early. I mean, late.
Late, yeah. They weren't great early on. They adjusted though, and they got better. So that is what's nice about the playoff, though, is not going to eliminate teams that get hot later on.
I mean,
those are the teams you want to see in the playoff because of how well they're playing at a particular time. And you weren't getting that before because there's only 4 teams. So you got to go with the 4 best teams. And those are the 4 teams that haven't lost or they took one good L.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We're sitting here bagging on Florida State. Florida State can straight up go 10, win the next 10 straight and still be in the playoff. Is it likely? Is it likely to happen? No.
Even if they win the next 10 straight, I still don't think so.
They win the next 10 straight, they're going to be ACC champs.
Well, they'll be playing for the ACC title.
Yeah, they'll be playing for it.
honestly.
I don't think it'll happen. I 100%.
Let's say it does happen though. You might be right. I think you might be right because it's only 2 losses, and that means they adjusted, and that means DJU had to get better.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because they're not going to be able to,
They're not going to win it without him getting better.
Right, exactly.
Because I got to imagine if he's playing, he's probably their best option.
Mm-hmm.
Which, sorry for them, but that's your best option. Oh, I didn't think that kid looked good at Clemson. The problem is he has the look. I mean, he's what, 6'4", 6'5", 240.
Big body, has a huge arm.
Oh, yes.
Is mobile. His decision making is just shit.
Decision making.
He doesn't see the field well. He can't read a defense to save his life.
Nope.
I mean, the same knocks that he had while he was at Clemson are still same knocks 3 years later.
Yeah. He didn't adjust.
He hasn't. He hasn't gotten better in that though. That's what I'm saying. Like by the time he's a junior, you can excuse a lot of stuff. Oh, he's a freshman. Oh, he's at a new school under a new system.
Yep, I get that.
At this point though, junior year.
Nah, dude, he's what a
or senior.
He's a senior, man.
Yeah,
he's a senior, and that's what gets me about it. It's like you already know what you got with this guy.
Bagels finally scored.
It's kind of like Ohio State kind of knowing what Will Howard is.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Gabriel for Oregon. You know what he is. You know what these guys are. DJ just looked terrible. Terrible. Kind of like I think Notre Dame is seeing what Riley Leonard is.
Yeah. I mean that's Notre Dame fans are calling for his head right now.
As they should.
As they should. Good.
But here's the thing with what Notre Dame is doing. Notre Dame in the last 2 years, how bad has your recruiting been at the quarterback position that you're having to bring in, senior transfers and stuff to start for you? I mean, they did it last year with Sam Hartman from Wake Forest, who I actually was very interested in seeing with like that much talent around him. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, those pictures are great. But yeah. But I don't know. I'm just glad Notre Dame lost. I just need Ohio State to lose soon, and I'll be happy there too. Even though one loss doesn't change anything now. But I still don't understand the Ohio State fans with the whole like Ryan Day on a hot seat, though. I don't get that at all. I don't get it.
We talked about it before.
I know, but I don't get it. It's dude, you're winning 10, 11 games. You're competing for a champ. You're competing for a championship every year.
Yeah, especially now with the way the playoffs is expanded, I guess that makes sense.
I mean, you're going to compete every year. Dude literally lost what? Well, I mean, I know he lost his bowl game last year because, nobody played.
Well, and Georgia was out to piss Georgia was pissed. So they were going to show everybody that they deserved.
Well, no, not. Yeah, well, I mean, Georgia did. I'm just saying Ohio State. They lost to
Ohio State.
They lost
Florida
to,
State. Sorry.
No, Ohio State lost to Missouri in their bowl game.
Yeah, that's
but they didn't have.
They didn't have anybody.
They didn't play anybody.
Moved. Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. was gone. You didn't have anybody. Yeah,
it's the same.
Sorry,
it was the same. It was essentially the same situation. Though.
Yeah,
same situation.
Yeah, that's right. I just confused my teams for a second. I mean, but yeah, back to the hot seat. It's unnecessary because Ohio State. I mean, they have one of the best teams in college football this year. They've handled business the first 2 weeks.
One of the highest payrolls too.
Well, yeah. What do you expect?
But I mean, they're going for it. Though. That's what they're doing. They are going for it. What Ohio State has done as far as paying out NIL money and all that, it's essentially the same move the Rams did to when they got Stafford. They're selling out to go get that chip.
Or power to them.
Yeah, which, who
Fuck
knows?
Ohio State, right?
That is correct. That's correct. Ohio State and Notre Dame playing, I'm rooting for a sinkhole.
Hey, look at the Panthers over here. Fade and knocked out.
And nothing.
37-3 with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter there. Panthers look like the Panthers of last year.
Yeah.
If not worse, actually.
Looks like Panthers from 2 years ago.
You got the Steelers and Falcons. They just started the fourth quarter. Steelers up 15-10.
All field goals.
That is very shocking to me, though.
It's
I
rough.
felt like Atlanta would be a little bit more potent on offense. I know the Steelers' defense is great. It's just that doesn't make – I just having Kirk Cousins there, and maybe it's going to take him some time, build that rapport. But he has so many weapons. He has so many weapons.
Oh, I like Atlanta. I
would love to see Bijan's stats for today.
What we never really got to do, we never really got to go into our NFL stuff because of
this the AT&T strike has your boy working way too much.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But I mean, I was going to take Atlanta to win the South.
Right, and I felt like that it would just be very easy. The way New Orleans is handling Carolina doesn't really give you any idea, and Tampa Bay plays later, so you really don't have an idea. But before you dug into everything or whatnot, it'd be.
Yeah, I was looking at Atlanta here.
Bijan has 16 carries for 52 yards. That's awful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Pittsburgh's defense.
No, I get it. I'm just saying.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me. That's what Pittsburgh does. They play really good defense.
Yeah.
Look at this. Buffalo on top, 24-20.
Zach Moss is the one who scored the touchdown for Cincinnati, so high five me on that call.
Yeah. Yep.
Needed that. Minnesota's beating the hell out of the Giants. Not surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, but Sam Darnold is 17-20 for 195 yards with 2 touchdowns and no picks.
That's clean.
That is
That's
amazing.
Clean. That's clean.
Daniel Jones, on the other hand, fucking 13-26 with 1 pick, no touchdowns, with a 46.6 QB rating.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Other than Neighbors, who's he throwing to?
Neighbors does have 5 catches for 66 yards.
Okay. Who's their other receivers?
Wan'Dale Robinson is their number 2. I would assume between him or Darius Slayton, because that's where they were last year. You have,
and who's their running back?
The running back is Devin Singletary.
Okay. So nobody.
No, they're offensively, the Giants are awful. I mean,
they have nothing.
They've got absolutely nothing.
I mean, other than Malik Neighbors, they have nothing.
Yeah, because Daniel Jones sucks. I mean, you've tried to defend him a few times.
I still defend him. I mean, he only has one skill player. One.
Yeah, I get it.
One. But at the same time, as a quarterback, you're supposed to be able to elevate talent. But at the same time, where does it become elevating talent and just living with a dumpster fire?
Right.
I'm not trying to defend him any more than that. I mean, I'm not saying he's fucking a world beater by no means, but it helps to have weapons.
No, you're right.
I mean, the Giants can draft. We already know that.
Dolphins are trying to come back here.
I need them to come back.
Yeah, they're down 17-14 in the third quarter. 2 minutes left there in the third. Tua is at 288 yards and a tutty. So, yeah, it was 17-0 at once in this game.
Yeah.
So Dolphins right back in it. Jaguars just got the ball back, so they're on their own 16. Tyreek Hill did make it to the game, though, and score a touchdown. So he has 6 receptions, 109 yards, and a touchdown.
Oh, but Carolina put a TD up.
Texans just scored. They're now up 22-13. Joe Mixon, 21 carries, 119 yards, and a touchdown. Nico Collins, 5 receptions, 105 yards.
I like it.
Yeah, that's big.
I like
Texans-
Houston a lot.
I like Houston. I think they've got a really good shot. Defensively they're sound. The offense, though, we know it has firepower because you throw in Diggs now, along with Tank and Nico, and then you go and get a guy like Joe Mixon. Who
That's
could
what I'm
be
saying.
a
You add
bell
Diggs
cow.
and Mixon.
Yeah, I think offensively the Texans could be very good.
Oh, I think they're going to be very good.
Yeah.
Off the top of your head, though, quick fire. Since we didn't really get to do previews, who's your division winners?
All right. Yeah, we could probably wrap up this episode with it because otherwise we'll just dive into the whole week.
Yeah, just quick division winners.
All right, division winners. So we'll start with the AFC. AFC East. I want to say the Dolphins this year. I really do because I want to say it's going to happen. And what's their coach's name? Mike
McDaniel.
McDaniel.
Love
That's
that guy.
I love Mike McDaniel.
Dude,
Big
he's
fan.
some of the best sound bites.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big McDaniel fan. I think give me the Dolphins.
Okay.
AFC North going into today, I was going to say the Bengals. It still could be, but seeing how well the Ravens played against Kansas City, I like the defense. I just know Derrick Henry is going to fit a hell of a lot better into this offense over time.
Oh, he will.
The Ravens are going to win. I think the AFC North. The South, Texans, obviously. I don't think anybody else is going to give them a shot.
Okay.
I mean, they're handling the Colts right now, and by handling, they're up by 8 or whatever.
I'm with you on those three so far.
Yeah, I think the Texans are going to run the South. AFC West,
Until somebody beats Kansas City,
But I mean, the Broncos are going to be trash. I doubt the Chargers are ready to go, and the Raiders, they're not going to be competitive with them. I think the Raiders have a good shot to finish second in this division, but making the playoffs unlikely.
Okay.
All right. You already know my pick in the NFC East. No need to worry about that.
I agree with you there.
Go Birds. NFC North. I like the Lions. Prove me different. I mean, I think Green Bay will be great. The loss of Jordan Love is going to affect the outcome on what happens in this division. I think the Packers, I would have probably taken them before knowing that Love was out,
Yeah.
to be fair.
But
I'm going to take the Lions now, knowing that Love is out for a period of 3 to 6 weeks. That could, depending, who is the backup?
Malik Willis.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I saw him get sacked.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. They wouldn't have traded for him. Right, like a week or two ago. So
Yeah,
he
he ain't been
was
there
in a
very
tough
long.
situation, so it's not fair. I don't know, but he was not great in Tennessee either. I mean, I like that they have a backup that's similar in style to Jordan. That might help, at least with the other players, to adjust. And the Packers are going to finish second because I don't think the Vikings or Bears are going to pose much threat. You can see with the Bears right now. The Bears are,
Struggling.
They're struggling and have all the offensive firepower in the world. But there hasn't. What was the stat? There hasn't been a rookie quarterback to win his debut since. Who was it?
Cam won his, didn't he?
Yeah, but it was more recent than Cam.
More recent than Cam? I don't know. Trying to think who it could have been.
It's like the last 15 or 16 quarterbacks to start. They're like 0-14-1, I think.
Damn.
Damn it. I heard it the other day and I forgot the stat. If someone wants to help your boy out in the chat, that would be great, but it doesn't look like it. Damn. It was a surprising one, too.
Really?
I want to say maybe Daniel Jones.
That won their debut?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the last 15 quarterbacks to debut for a team or start game one for a team.
Oh, okay.
rookie quarterbacks to start for their team. They're 0-14-1.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's bad. I think it might have been Daniel Jones.
Ugh. Makes it even worse.
Yeah. But yeah, so right now with the outlook, I'm going to take the Lions. The Packers are going to give them everything they want, especially when Jordan Love gets back. I think that team offensively.
If it's the short run injury.
Yeah, if it's a short run injury and it won't impact them too much. I don't know what the schedule looks like to really dig into that, but I wouldn't do that to begin the year anyway. But knowing that they may take a couple L's, otherwise that would have been W's. Give me the Lions. NFC South should be the Falcons to run away with. Watching them play right now, I don't know. I really don't know.
What's sad is watching both of the.
And you did watch the Saints beating the hell out of the Panthers.
Yeah.
But that doesn't give you anything.
No, it doesn't give you nothing.
That's not telling you a story. Yeah. So I would need to see the Saints play somebody. But if we were doing, before the year seeing anybody play, I would have probably taken the Falcons.
Yeah.
I do like Tampa Bay to probably be the 2 here because I do like Baker. I like the weapons they've given Baker. That defense is still good. Like, I think they're going to improve from last year.
I think they are too.
But the way the Saints are playing right now, I mean, they are playing the Panthers, but they look good.
Okay.
So I like the Saints, but I'm going to go with what I would have said, and that would have been the Falcons.
Okay.
And then in the West, the 49ers again. I think the Rams are going to be good this year. You're going to get a healthy Stafford, a healthy Cooper Kupp. Yeah, Kyron Williams looks the part, right?
Yeah.
I mean, big-time fantasy points last year. He showed up big. Offensively, they're good. They've recovered from the sellout for a Super Bowl deal. They'll be competitive, but, I mean, honestly, you look at everything that San Francisco has. This is the last year San Francisco can really get it all together before they got to start doing something.
Start figuring it out.
Because you're going to have to sign Brock. Right? Purdy's got to be signed after this year to an extension, especially if he's successful, right? If he makes another NFC title game. They're not going to go away from him, right?
No, they're not going to go away, but this is what, year 3?
Yeah.
I mean, technically, they ain't got to do nothing with him for 2 more years.
Wait.
You
want to start tagging? He was the last pick. He only got a 4-year deal.
Was it a 4-year?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know.
Or is it 3? No, 3-year deal.
They might be 3.
It might be 3. So they got to do something. I mean, worst case, they tag him. And he'll be happy with the tag.
Oh, I'd be.
I mean, he made $900,000 last year.
Don't threaten me with the franchise tag at quarterback.
Especially after Dak's deal today.
Oh, did Dak get his deal today?
Yeah, Dak got his deal today. He's the highest quarterback in the league, or highest paid quarterback in the league now. 4 years, $245.
He got the 60.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Guess who they're not signing now?
Parsons?
There's no way you can keep Parsons now.
Well, I mean,
there is a way, but then you're selling out the rest of the team.
They still have like a few years on Parsons. They can still
year 4 of Parsons.
They still got his 5th. His 5th year option, and then they can franchise tag him for twice.
Well, can you afford to franchise tag him? That's the thing. I mean, the franchise tag is still the average of the top 5 players.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I don't think you're going to be able to afford Parsons.
I'm still trying to figure out why Dallas gave fucking homeboy fucking $60 million.
At 30, what did we say? He's 31?
I mean, the 4 years isn't bad. That part, Kirk Cousins got 180. And he's 36.
You're right.
I mean, it's not the amount of money, because eventually somebody's going to break that ceiling. But for it to be him, I don't think
he has no success in the playoffs. Zero.
Nope, zero
success in the playoffs. He chokes. I mean, and I know last year wasn't all his fault, and he did everything he did to come back. But at the same time, he contributed to the problems at the beginning of that game.
Oh, well, yeah. Couple of bad turnovers will do that.
But the playoffs just shock them. And, that's Dallas. They fold in the playoffs. We've seen it year after year. Every year is their year. And this roster is worse than last year's roster.
What's sad is probably their best playoff run was since the Super Bowl runs. Their best playoff run, the catch, no catch by Dez Bryant in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. Technically, I thought that was a catch, but I'll never admit it. Anybody ask, I'm like, nope, that wasn't a catch, is it?
What's the call on the field, my friend?
It was whatever the call on the field was there, buddy. It was not a catch. Did not catch it.
I watched that game. I'm a PN Packers. I'm watching. I'm like, ooh, shit. Oh, fuck. They called that a no catch? You feel that way,
yeah, and you're like, yes.
Let's go.
I'm cheering just as hard as you are then.
Yeah. But it was just like, oh, man. A lot of your division winners, I'm right along with you.
Yeah.
The AFC, I'm 100% with you on. NFC, I agree with you on the Eagles. Before the Love injury, I was leaning hard on my pack.
Yeah. They finished last year hot.
Yeah. Depending on the length of the injury, I'm kind of leaning with you on Detroit. I think Green Bay can still finish second.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the injury.
I think the Packers will still make the playoffs. I don't think that's going to be an issue because I do expect Dallas to take a step back. I don't think they're a 10-win team this year. I think they may miss the playoffs with the NFC North. You're talking about Lions and Packers. I like the Rams to improve this year. So you're talking about the Niners and the Rams.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about Eagles, and then of course the South winner. So,
the South could be a very underrated division.
It could be.
I mean, you could get two teams out of the South. I think
see what the Saints or the Bucks do. Yeah. I mean, they've certainly improved. So
look at this shit. This guy.
What did the Cardinals just do?
Just scored a long ass touchdown.
Who scored it?
Whoever that dude is. That James Conner?
DJ Dallas.
Who the hell is that? Is that a kick return?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's in there.
Damn.
All right. Bengals are now at 10 points, so they're starting to go in the right direction.
I need them to score, buddy.
Yeah.
I need some points by them.
Yeah.
I got them -7.
So,
on me.
one last thing before we eat and watch some football for a little bit.
What we got?
Tell me who your MVP is this year.
Of the NFL?
Yeah. Oh.
Jared Goff.
Very well could be. I like that. It's sneaky.
I'm going outside the box.
It's a sneaky one.
I think he can win it. But it's probably going to either be Mahomes or Lamar Jackson.
I think you get voter fatigue there, right?
I mean, Hurts could be there too.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I was really kind of baiting you into that to see if you would say something. I'm going to go on a limb and say like C.J. Stroud.
That's not a bad one.
I think he just comes out of nowhere. Houston has a really solid year. They build on the run they had last year. He's got more weapons now.
Mm-hmm.
He can, and he has no pressure to do a whole lot. He's in a weak division. You're talking about 5 to 6 easy wins for him.
Well, you say weak.
Pad stats.
You say weak, but Jacksonville's beating Miami right now.
That is true. Although
Indianapolis isn't going to be terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Tennessee's winning their game at the moment too, right?
Fair enough.
But I mean, I don't disagree with Houston winning the division.
Yeah, no. You're right.
I know who's not going to win the MVP. Anybody that's not a quarterback.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's gone.
It just seems to be what it is.
I don't know.
All right, man. Well, I'm getting hungry.
See,
We've covered over an hour here.
do
And we're just back into it. We got football to watch. I know everybody's ecstatic about that too. We appreciate everybody viewing and checking us out, listening, everything. Make sure you check us out on the follows.
yes, sir.
Make sure, or the socials, not the follows. Follow us.
On
and
all
check
the
us out on
socials.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. I messed it up too. It's been a while.
We're rusty, brother.
Yeah, man, it's all good.
Rusty.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, what you watching us on now, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, let's wrap this one up. We'll be back at you next week with week 1 wrapped up, week 3 of college football, maybe right in the mix, or maybe right before week 2 kicks off for us.
Yeah, we'll get it somewhere along the way.
All right, man. Until next time.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you.
Thanks, guys.
Post-game show is brought to you by Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it.